That's right. I want y'all to come on in here. I want to tell a story. But before I do that, let me play my music. That's some good storytelling music right there. Mm, sounds so good, don't y'all agree? I don't know how well y'all can hear it, but I can hear it good, so that's all that matters. But yeah, come on in here, y'all. I want to tell y'all a story. Y'all see what the title is. hmm Story of a church girl. I was supposed to tell this story on Roe v. Wade Part 1, but I didn't get around to it. But I'm gonna get around to it tonight. I feel Sunday's you know, why not a good day to tell a church story? But this ain't your ordinary church story, ladies and gentlemen. Nah, this is the story of a church girl who had like 4 or 5 abortions. Ah, it's crazy. Trust me, it's crazy. Come on there, y'all. Get this. Yeah, this is another reason why I'm against abortion. I ain't afraid to say it. To those tuning in, make sure y'all go over to YouTube and look up Sit TV on YouTube, SIT TV on YouTube. Look for the Sit TV emblem, which is a cartoon TV with Sit TV in the middle. Make sure you subscribe while you're over there, because when you comment on YouTube, all the comments come up on page, come up within the view of the live screen, which is a lot better because then I can engage with the audience quite a bit more. But listen, I want to tell the story. Let me get my buggy eye Benz on real quick. Okay, because I ain't got much time. I was supposed to go. I was supposed to go live at 6, but it was dinner time, so here I am at 7 o'clock. But nonetheless, let me get into this story, man, of this church girl that had like 4 or 5 abortions. Okay, first and foremost, I had known this girl since elementary school. Now, she was like straight church girl, like hands down church girl, like the always in like the long knee length skirts and dresses and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like all covered up, not showing nothing, little glasses and little ponytail and whatnot. But anyway, I had known her since elementary school. Went to elementary, middle, and high school with her. To make a long story short, we ended up running into each other, as we were adults. We start kicking it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It was, good to run into, it's always good to run into individuals that, you've known since school. But anyway, um, we start kicking it or whatever, hanging out. And to make a long story short, me and her ended up fooling around. Yeah, me and her ended up fooling around. So, you know, it is what it is. And it's crazy, like a couple weeks after, we first started engaging in sexual activity, she hit me up out of the blue and was like, she was like, you sure you pulled all the way out when we did it? And I'm like, huh? She, the nigga heart start beating. She was like, you sure you pulled all the way out when we was when we was having sex? I was like, yeah, I'm sure I pulled all the way out. I was like, why? She was like, cause I'm pregnant And I'm like, oh shit. She was like, but you ain't got nothing to worry about because I mean, I'm gonna have another abortion. And I'm like, okay, abortion. All right, you gonna have an abortion? Then I'm like, wait a minute, damn, another abortion. So I'm like, I'm like, oh, so this ain't your first rodeo? She was like, no. She was like, I had a couple of abortions before, So I mean, I'm definitely not gonna keep it. She was like, but you sure you pulled? I was like, yeah. She was like, well, okay. She was like, well, I'm pretty sure it's not yours anyway. So I'm thinking to myself, why she even like if that's what you really why you even call me? Like why you even call me? But I'm not saying this out loud. I'm just like, I'm just like, what I'm saying? At this point, I'm just riding the wave, like, yeah, go on, go on. I'm sorry, y'all, but at that point, at that point in my life, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't on this higher level of thinking that I'm on now. Okay, let me just say that. But so that wasn't her first rodeo. So then she gets into telling me about a guy that she was fooling around with at her church that got pregnant. That got her pregnant a couple times, but as we got to talking, the couple turned into a few times. The few times turned into. So I'm like, well, how many times have you done this? Like, how many abortions have you gotten? And she was like, well, this would be, and she started thinking. I'm like, damn, like you got to think about it. So she's like, well, this will be my fifth time. I'm like, this will be your fifth time. She was like, yeah. She was like, but they were all by the same guy. I don't want you to think that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just out here just getting pregnant by random men. She was like, they was all by him. You know what I'm saying? So what what makes the story uh a little more interesting is the fact that the guy that got her pregnant was the preacher's son, whom was married to the deacon's daughter, or something like that. I think it was the deacon's daughter, but anyway, yeah. She she had four abortions by the preacher's son, who was married to the deacon's daughter. Or was it the deacon? It was anyway. He was married, to another important member of the church's daughter. And he had knocked this girl up four times, and she had four abortions, was about to have her fifth abortion, which she did, because no, it wasn't mine, because come find out she was like 8 weeks pregnant. So she was already pregnant when me and her ran into each other. Yes. But she had already had her mind made up. Like, I mean, I could hear it in her voice for real. Like when I really had the chance to sit back and like think about something, because at that point I'm just like, man, look, she calling me talking about she pregnant. Like I'm just like, oh my god. But after it was all said and done, when I sat and thought about it, I'm like, man, like she said that like it's nothing. Like it's nothing for her to just run down to the abortion clinic and get rid of it, because she had done it four times already. Church girl, well, supposed to be a church girl. Four times, five times, five abortions by by the preacher's son. Now this man is supposed to be ready to take over the church, but y'all know how some things go in these churches. Come on now. I'm pretty sure she was not the only woman in the congregation that he was having sex with. I'm pretty sure of that. But I mean, like I said in part one, these women out here use the abortion clinic as a get out of jail free card. They use abortion as their birth control. And that's crazy. That is crazy. And I'm like, man, by the time that she's probably ready to have kids, that she's ready really to have kids, she probably won't even be able to have none. She probably won't. I mean, because she's already in her 30s. Most women, but they losing their eggs in like their 30s or whatever, something like that. Late 30s, mid 30s, something like that. But I'm pretty sure by the time that she is really ready to have some kids, she probably won't even be able to. Like, yeah, you should have saved a couple of them babies. But of course, she couldn't. I mean, like, how could she have, the preacher's son who's in line to take over the church? How could she have his baby? But my thing is, how can you get pregnant 4 times, 5 times by this man? How can you have 5 abortions? Like, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. Now, we already established in part one that abortion is an inhumane thing, which it is. So she committed this inhumane act 5 times as if it was nothing. Because when she told me, well, you ain't got nothing to worry about anyway, because I'm gonna just have another abortion. And I'm like, damn, she said it like flawless, like flawless victory. Like, so that's definitely another reason as to why I am totally against it now. Y'all ladies, y'all need to be more responsible because, like I said in part one, y'all do have more responsibility when it comes to bringing life into this world because y'all are the carriers. You ladies are the one that carry the baby for 9 months, and you ladies are usually the ones that get stuck with the kids by yourself, with over 75% of Black households being consisting of just the Black woman raising the kids by herself. So with those statistics, yeah, I would think that you would want to be more careful. And you know, the objective now for the government is probably to get a lot of you Black women on like birth control and shit like that. But y'all better watch that because they'll mess around and start putting something in it to, you already know they're trying to get rid of us. So, but anyway, that's another story for another day, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to, go live real quick just to tell that story. Like I said, I was supposed to go over that in part one. I didn't have a chance to, so I just wanted to bounce back with part two and say it's a damn shame that y'all out here using the damn abortion clinic like a drive-through. Just in it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, listen. I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in to the Dope Filter Talk Show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your boy Farazar. Y'all stay tuned because I stay talking shit.